Hey, Priya, congratulations.
Hi, Dr. Patel. Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well.
At hospital or you're at home?
No, I'm at home right now.
You are at home? Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. So you are gonna hold the big party, huh? We are there only, so you will not be saved. Eh, yes, we are waiting for other candidates to join. Hey,
Yeah.
Vedant,
Hi, how's it going, Dr. Patel?
doing well. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yep. So, what do you think? Which state it will be?
Honestly, I'm not so sure. I'm from the Midwest, and that's where a lot of the programs are, so hoping for the Midwest. That'd be nice.
That's great. Yeah, we really wanted you to speak few things regarding to the fear of surgery, So just want to make sure that people have some idea and they can understand something, get a good feedback from you. So we are just going to start soon. Just give me 10 more minutes.
Sounds good. I'm happy to.
Yep. Hey, Devat is there. Hey, hey!
Hello, finally.
Finally, finally. Yes, yes, great,
Yeah,
man.
man. Thank
So,
you so much, buddy.
yep.
Really happy.
How,
Congratulations to my fellow applicants who matched.
yeah, how are you feeling? Is
Uh, it's just a relief, I must say. After so many years, I feel like it feels like, finally the life kind of restarted.
yeah, that's good.
Uh, yeah.
We just talked with Mariam, and she was like, "Oh, what about Daivat?" I was like, "No, Daivat is good." Yep, yep.
Yeah, man, this was it. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm glad, yeah. But that's one thing, like, Urvish, you always told me, like, you finished it, so you will get in. Just keep going. So
keep going, keep
uh,
going. Yeah, yeah,
that's what I did, and
yeah.
finally the day I talked with Preeti as well, just over the text, and she was the same thing.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. I'll just give you two,
Sure,
3 minutes
yeah,
joining.
yeah.
Um,
Sorry, I'm at work, so I might have to.
yeah, just give me about 5 minutes. Yeah. There are few people couldn't able to match, and they are like, oh, we are going with the soap and all, but still, the issue is, it's good if someone can tell them few good things. Okay. In 2 or 3 minutes, we can just. Hey, Janvi, congratulations. You're still mute.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much.
In India right now?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
home. I would have to do the visa and everything from here anyway, so
Okay. Okay. How are you feeling?
good. I'm very happy. I had like a lot of calls and stuff, but yeah, I was
What
very
what
happy.
what program do you think you will be?
I don't know.
What's that?
Honestly, but, but I'm just happy to have matched, really.
Yeah. Party hard, enjoy hard now. It's a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
know
wait.
I'm never gonna get this kind of free time ever again.
Never again. Exactly. That's why you will not get this free time ever again. So I think it's a good thing, start enjoying. You guys were super tense. 6, 7 months was too much pressure for everyone, right? So yeah, I'm just waiting for a couple of people to join.
All right.
Yeah. Hey Sudha. Rashmi.
Hey, hi, Dr. Patel.
Hi Sudha. One sec.
Hey, hi. Hi, Dr. Patel.
Rashmi, I can see her. Okay. Rashmi's here. Oh yeah. Hey Rashmi, how are you doing? Many
I'm good.
congratulations.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, Dr. Patel. I'm doing good. Very happy today.
Yeah. I think many applicants like you really make the history. So we are very excited. Like I'm so excited. I heard the news about your match, the divert we have it. It's like wow, you guys really work hard until end and then made it finally.
I mean, you're the heart. Just a moment, Dr. Patel. I have to. I'll join you back.
Yes, sure. Join back. Yeah. 1 second. We are having Prachi too. Prachi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, Dr. Patel.
I can see you. Okay, I can see you. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm still digesting the news.
Digesting, absorbing, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's why I was like, yes, stay here. That's great. Last year you were listening what other people were saying, and this it's your time.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for everything.
Yeah, pleasure is mine. You're welcome. I think we can start we can start the session and we can discuss few things about all of you guys and we can go from there. Just give me 1 minute. I can start saving this video. Okay. Okay. We are having. Let's start. Okay, guys. Welcome everyone. And I'm so excited to see you guys. Some few people like very first time face to face on camera. Sometime I met in person, but I'm so happy to see you all together in this match 2024 match day. And I have literally no words to say or speak, especially for many candidates who are having like really high hope, but they are having a little bit less expectation from the system. And finally, they all made it. So it's very great thing that you all made it. And we are having many candidates who did not even match it. So I really like that if you can give few things about your CV, a little bit information about yourself, how you started journey, what you did to make your CV strong. Everyone has unique pathway here. I know it very well. Not everyone has the same things to follow. So we never know which one will be helpful to some candidate. So definitely we would like to go through very brief detail, but just extract whole your 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 15 years, right? Someone 15 years, every year's experience. And what would you like to tell the candidate who's going to apply in the same specialty or who's thinking to give up? So I would like to begin with, first of all, congratulations all of you. And I would like to begin with few of the candidate and we can go further with the rest of the candidate. Okay. Let's start with, I think, first come first, we had it Haripriya. So let's start with Haripriya. Let me just do one thing. I'm just going to give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, let's start with Haripriya now.
Hi, everyone. First of all, congratulations to everyone who matched. And for those who didn't match, I just want to say that what I'm going to say next is going to help you a lot because I did not match last year. So first, also, I want to thank Dr. Patel because honestly, I did not know a lot about the process. I'm from a college. I'm from a medical school. I'm the first person from my medical school to apply actually. So everything I knew was from YouTube. Everything I did was by myself, and Dr. Patel actually helped me a lot understand how the system works and how I can actually match even if I don't have contacts, and I should just trust myself in the process. So last year, what happened was I thought I like he mentioned, I completely lost trust in the system. I thought the game's rigged. No one can match if I cannot match because I did very well last year. My CV was incredible. My scores were really good. As Dr. Patel said, with my scores, I would get many interviews and I would match for sure. And I had great publications. I had presented at a conference, thanks to Dr. Patel again. But I did not get a single interview last year, not a single call. And I kept waiting until Feb. I didn't hear from anyone. And then I just gave up. I applied in SOAP as well. And a lot of people told me just go for emergency medicine, apply in family medicine, you'll match somewhere. And I was like, I'm not applying for the sake of applying. I'm genuinely wanting to go into internal medicine and then later into critical care or something like that. So knowing that, I decided to give it another shot. And through the process last year, I realized how many mistakes I had made in my previous application. First mistake was not talking to enough people about my application, showing them if it looks good. Now that I look back at my personal statement from 2021, it was pure garbage. It was trash. And I wish I had showed it to at least I was showing it just to my family, and of course they had good things to say about that because they're my family. I wish I had shown it to other people who would give me real advice. So this year I made sure to write a really good personal statement. It was genuinely very good. I'm very proud of it. And I went from 0 interviews to 10 interviews this year, which was incredible. I did not expect that at all. But I think a lot of it stems from majorly one thing that I took step 3. I should have done it in 2021. I did not. I did not understand how much that matters. To a lot of programs, it matters a lot. Another thing I did was instead of going through agencies that charge you like $6,000, $7,000 to give you like mediocre letters of recommendation, you should go through genuine people that you know, and you should ask for letters of recommendation and make sure that they are writing you one instead of just telling you to just write whatever and I'll just sign it. That just means that it's going to be very obvious to the program director that this is something you have written, and that does not look good. So this time I rotated in hospitals that already had residency programs, and I got great letters of recommendations from the associate program director, different faculties, and nephrologists. So also I joined a research position at the University of Houston. That was actually through a contact that I met in this group, Janani. Janani was working there, and once she matched, she was nice enough to recommend me for the position. I interviewed for it, I got it. And that helped me a lot too. That improved my resume quite a bit. So I think these are all the factors that helped me get 10 interviews this year. But I would definitely say that everyone who is applying next year, more than it being about contacts, because I can tell you out of the 10 interviews, only 2 interviews I would say I got through contacts. The rest was all through my resume and my application, how good it was. So I would say that instead of blaming everything on that, you should focus on things like step 3, your personal statement, which is very important. Every single interview, in every single interview, the faculty or the program director or even the chief residents picked up my personal statement and talked about it, like how good it was. So it really, really matters, I feel. And also, conferences are so important. The contacts I made in conference that I went to in 2021, that helped me a lot. The one interview that I said I got through a contact that I met in the conference. So I would just say don't lose hope. If you didn't match this year, I completely lost hope last year, but things do work out. You will eventually figure out what went wrong and how you can improve it, and you will match next year for sure.
Yep, that's true. Don't lose hope. Yeah. You have to be keep going every year, every month. Your CV should be getting a little bit extra length, so that's a good thing. Yep. Thank you. Thanks, Haripriya, for your great insight.
Thank
And
you.
thank you. And congratulations again for the match. We're gonna be seeing in person then.
Thank you.
Yep. So we are having then Daivat. Daivat, are you there? Second one. We have Daivat.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay, just
Hello, everyone.
give me 1 second. Give me 1
Sorry
second.
for some background noise. I'm still at work,
I
but
can.
can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. So first of all, congratulations to everyone who matched, and well, to anyone who didn't match. Again, I'll just echo the stuff that Urvish and I think Haripriya said, like, keep going. I can give you another spectrum of what Haripriya said. Like she probably had a very tremendous CV and high scores. So that's first thing that you should always work for. But I'll tell you my story, which is kind of on the other spectrum. So I didn't have very high scores, and then I also had a couple of flags. So this was my fourth attempt applying for the match. And previous times I had got interviews. It was not like I never got an interview, but I had got interviews and couldn't match. So every time I was feeling like, okay, what now? Like I was losing hope, couldn't figure out what to do. One thing I would recommend is like um, keep focus on identifying what's lacking in the application. Once I had average scores in my first steps, then I decided to go for my step 3, and I had a couple of setbacks in my step 3. And at that time, I was feeling a little bit under the weather. I was feeling like it's the kind of end of the journey, and I might not be able to continue. But that's where the support system and the help from the organizations like Urvish helped me a lot at that time as well, and other mentors that I actively reached out to seek help. That's one thing that sometimes people are scared when they have setbacks. Is like they do not reach out to people and then feel scared that, oh, I had a setback, how it's going to look like. No, people are genuinely there to help you, and then they will help you to identify the deficits and then improvise on that. That's what I did over a couple of years, and then cleared my step 3. It was not with the flying colors. It was okay, average score again. But the one thing that kept me going is like I tried to improve my clinical stuff. I've been an old graduate. It's been 8 years since I graduated. So one thing was lacking persistently at the clinical exposure. So for the last couple of years, I worked so very hard on improving that part. And then along that, I did extra research work while I was working with Research Update, and also through my current job, I'm working at the place. I try to actively indulge in the research of going through my profile, try to make connections with the doctors that I was working with, and then try to get the recommendations from that. So those are the things that actually helped me to secure interviews. I got an interview this year from the same place that I had interview last year, and they didn't match. So for those candidates who feel like, oh, we applied to this place, we got interviews and we didn't match there, it doesn't mean that you cannot get an interview once again from there. Try to reach out to the program directors if you feel like comfortable about it. The worst can happen is that they won't reply you. But I did it last year, and I did get a reply from a couple of program directors, and they told me what was lacking in my application. That helped me to identify it, work in that direction, and eventually build a holistic profile, which I can be confident about. And then when I was giving the interview, I could show that confidence in them. That's what they were looking for, I believe, and help me to match this year. That's what I feel. So again, it's a long journey. That's if you have a couple of setbacks, it's not the end. I kept myself reminding that humorously, if you keep persistent, everybody matches. Right. So I just went by that mantra, and eventually I was able to match today after a long journey. So anybody who is not hasn't made it this time, don't lose hope and keep trying. You will eventually make one day.
From David's profile, what I can say is like first 2 or 3 years after public health, it's like something doing research for getting into residency. But he did that many research every year attending conference, every year people meeting people, making CV chunk belong. Today he matched, but I think now profile is enough big to have a EB1 green card, Nobel laureate green card. So it's a byproduct, right? It's kind of byproduct. If you are having keep doing the work, so somewhere you're gonna get benefit anyway. So I'm so happy actually. I'm so really very happy. Congratulations again, David. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you. I'm going to have Veda. Veda is here, the third candidate. We have it. Veda, congratulations. We know each other very less exposure, but still, I would love to hear and let people hear the story. Give us some insight about surgery application.
Certainly, I'm happy to. Thank you, Dr. Patel, for all your mentorship and help, and then congratulations to everyone who matched. So my name is Veda. I'm a fourth-year med student in the US, and I matched into general surgery today. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think that if you're, working on your application, like first and foremost, as everyone said, like board scores are really important, getting the research and having mentors like Dr. Patel is a great resource, and reach out to people in the field that you're looking to apply for. And I think like something that really helped, like Haripriya mentioned with the personal statement, that's something that PDs and faculty, they really read that to get a sense of who you are and see your story and how compelling it is. And so trying to make that personal to you and really focus on that essay, that's I think a pretty strong key as far as the application goes. The scores they'll get you past like those filters. And then once your application's on their desk, they're going to be trying to see how you fit into their program and what kind of person you are. And so it's nice if you can have some reflection of that in your personal statement, and then even throughout your application, it's important to put like work experiences in your rotations, but also maybe one thing, like we had 10 experiences, and so I put for one of them I put music, like I played piano growing up, and so I incorporated that, and I felt that came up a lot in interviews, and so something that I'm glad that I included. And then for letters of recommendation, make sure that you ask people who you've worked with and they truly know you. Don't just ask like the biggest names necessarily. I mean, that's always important, but it's great if you can have somebody that's seen your clinical experience or maybe your research experience and can really speak to the different things about you as a person as well. And so I would schedule like a meeting with the letter writer and really let them know, like make sure they know who you are, and foster that connection and keep in touch with them. And then I think that for interviews in general, it's one thing to make the application, and then once you get the interview, to match, you have to really perform in the interview. And so it's nice if you can put together a good setup in the virtual setting, like try and Google or research good setups. Like what I have right now, it's probably not ideal for an interview. You'd want like better lighting, you'd want a nice background. And so, cleaning up those things, and then really like researching the questions that are most commonly asked and trying to prepare those, and be able to, incorporate those answers so that, you seem like you've really thought about things that will, go far. So like having a good, an answer for like, tell me about yourself, or like, why this specialty, those are aspects that I think, you'll probably see those in a lot of interviews. So it's nice if you can have something that people remember, and they'll, because when you think about all the applicants that these programs look at, it's good if you can have some answers that make them know that you really thought about why you're applying into the specialty. So that's kind of the whole process, in my opinion.
So I have like 3 questions. Actually, you said very good thing. We never think about this part, that you schedule the meeting with LOR writers, like to explain what you did with them, to make them understandable that who you are and what you want from them. So how do you, first of all, how do you convince them to meet you? And then what is specific thing, like if someone is applying for surgery, what is the specific thing you tell them to describe so that you will be somewhere in a different tier candidate than other candidate or other average candidate? So that's my first question.
Certainly. So I think that I was, privileged to be able to do these rotations in the U.S. and have these, the professors here, and so really like working with them and doing your best to show like that, your commitment to the team. I think that's really essential because, if you're good with the residents, that like they'll appreciate that. And you don't need to interact with the faculty directly in the sense that you really have to care for your patients and show up for your team. And then and I think the preceptors will recognize that, and like the people that you want to write those letters. And so maybe talking with people in the rotation to see like who is a good person to ask for a letter, maybe the chair of the department. If you're doing like an away rotation, trying to set up that meeting with like asked to schedule a meeting towards the end of the rotation and then really perform during the rotation. So that way, when you get to that meeting, they'll have hopefully just heard good things about you, and then, they can get to know you further. And so that's what I did in my away rotation. I, tried to work as hard as I could in that surgery rotation. And then I asked the preceptor, and then, scheduled it with his secretary. And, that's really where you're going to probably make those meetings. If they have a secretary, it's good to introduce yourself to them as well. And then I think that's probably how the best way to go about it is be intentional about getting the letter early in the rotation, and then try and, see one faculty member who you really connect with, and then get that meeting on the books.
Makes sense. Yeah. So it's a good idea to schedule the meeting before rotation finish, because after that it's impossible to meet them again, I think so. So, and the second thing you mentioned that you put in one of the 10 experiences, one of the very risky proposition, putting your hobby as a 10th experience. So how did you manage? What is something that people can think about when they want to write the hobby as one of the top 10 experiences? Because we don't have hobby section anymore.
Right. So I'm not sure how it'll change for this next upcoming application cycle, but for this match cycle, it was like 10 experiences. And so for one of them, I play piano. And so I wrote about that. And it's something that I've had like kind of a couple decades of like experience with it. And so I felt like if you're able to tie that hobby into why it'll make you a better clinician or a better physician,
Okay.
better practice in your better at, whatever craft you're pursuing, that really helps. And so music's just one example. I think there's a lot of different things that will, make you a better physician, and different hobbies that'll contribute to your app. And so it's just something nice for the interviewers to see that you have, things that interest you outside of medicine, and then they can ask you about it in the interview, because it came up a lot, just like playing music.
So putting hobby will not only will be suffice, you need to just correlate something with the practice or field of application as well. In that case, it can create some impact, right?
Yes, I think so. So maybe you don't have to directly relate it to medicine, just more so show them that hobby is something that you can rely on to help for wellness and for you to be like a well-rounded individual. And I think those things are also important as a physician, taking care of yourself and keeping yourself happy.
That I think something is new. Even I encountered that I never hear. I mean, I was on the contrary telling people, hey, don't put hobbies there because there is no hobby section and we have only 10 section and we want to utilize as much as possible. So we cannot add hobby and waste one space. But this is something new. I didn't know that could be something we can even think about it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And the third question was like your personal statement. You described that the specific manner, the way you wrote this personal statement. Is there something besides that you are interested in surgery? If you want to make something more non-generic, more like branded for very competitive end of residency program. So do you have anything specific in the personal statement?
Sure. Well, I think that, at least specifically to surgery, I think it's probably different depending on the specialty you're applying. It's nice to be concise in the personal statement, really make it a clear essay and kind of structured. So I think my introduction, it was just like I put like piano I guess I didn't really specifically state piano. I just playing music in general. I put some comparisons to like music as an art and also like the practice of medicine as an art. And that was sort of a theme that I started with in the first paragraph. And then the second paragraph was like myself as a person. And then the third was kind of like tying it all together and how, you know, the really just, I wouldn't like go in depth on like a very artistic type of essay. I think it needs to be a professionally like worded paper. But still, it's nice if you can make it a little bit compelling. And so I related it to just art in general and how medicine's an art and just like themes like that. So I hope that answered your question.
Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for your insight. Yep. And congratulations again for the match. We'll see you
Thank
then.
you so much, and congratulations to everyone, and best wishes to those who are, you know, still on the journey.
Yep. Thank you. We are having the third one. Hold on. Prachi. Just give me one moment. Okay. Yes. Hey, Prachi, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Congratulations to everybody who matched. And I'm still very overwhelmed, so I'm going to try and formulate the sentences properly. This is my second time applying, and I'm a visa requiring candidate, very average scores. Last year, I had 3 interviews, and this year I had 9 interviews. So what I realized went wrong in my first cycle was, number one, the rotations I did, because I was applying just before the pandemic. So I had only, my only options were agency electives. So I think I did a lot more inpatient rotations through genuine contacts this year instead of going through agencies. I think that helped me a lot. And people even spoke about that in my interview. So I think that was definitely a plus. Second would be, I would like to say the personal statement that you write for yourself is your personal statement. It does not need to have any format. It's like when I was told back in India that it has to be this, the first paragraph has to be this, then the body has to have this, then the conclusion. It does not need to be. It's your personal statement. It can be however you want it to be. Thirdly, my letters of recommendation. I did change all my letters of recommendation, and I got them from genuine doctors who wrote it themselves and actually worked with me, knew my qualities, spoke about what kind of a person I was. That was a change I made. About the scores. So the score, obviously, everybody does the best they can on an exam. Some people get a high score, some people do not. So instead of focusing on scores, if you happen to fall in the average category of scores, work on the other aspects of your application to, you know, be at the same level as the high scorers is what I would say. And research. So Dr. Patel gave me a great platform for research, and it definitely did strengthen my application. But what I would like to say that for international graduates, know when to talk about research. Do not talk about research in all your interviews. The community programs where you interview at will not care about what research you are doing. And if you do happen to talk more about research, they may not rank you high because they don't have the facility to provide you all the resources for you to do research. So be careful about where you mention the research, even in your personal statement. Make a different one for university programs, make a different one for community programs. You don't want to make it seem like they can't provide you with what you want. That is one more thing. Another thing which helped me a lot was obviously networking and attending conferences in the United States. I met Dr. Patel also at the conference, and I met many other mentors, and it definitely did help me a lot. So definitely try attending conferences in the United States, poster presentations, whatever you can. It's a great plus. And lastly, I would also say have a very, very strong support system. it will help you a lot. And know when you want to ask for help. You don't have to be like just be strong all the time. There are going to be times where you'll need help, and just know that you're a human being and ask for the help when needed. And yes, for everybody who did not match, I'm happy to help. Just have good people around you at this time, and just be persistent. Don't give up. I didn't think of giving up last year at all. I knew this is what I wanted, and even if I wouldn't have matched this year, I would still apply again. And I think that's my message to everybody. And there are no shortcuts. And all the best to everybody.
Yep. Thank you, Prachi. I think you're right that when it comes to application, only one thing is persistency. If you are going to be keep doing it, then it's not going to be the problem at all.
Yes.
Thanks and congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep, we are having Rashmi. Where is Rashmi? Rashmi is here. Hey,
Hey, hello.
Rashmi. Hi, Rashmi.
Hello, everyone. It's so good to see you all here. Congratulations to all the matched applicants. And yeah, it's been quite a journey for me as well. I've been trying for this match for a long time now. I've been with Urvish since like 2020. I applied for 2021 match first, and it's 2024 now. So yeah, I'm a very old graduate, 2005. And
Yeah.
average, yeah, low scores, I would say. And if I can do it, anyone can do it.
No,
Yes.
that is a very strong message. Yeah. So even many people are like thinking, okay, it's 2005, 6, 10, 10 year of graduation, 15-year graduation. I don't want to do it. Let's go alternative career. I'm in another country. I'm having a family. So tell a few things about something that keep you motivated, keep doing the journey, and keep focusing on something while you are doing something else as well. So that is something we would like to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So because this journey in itself, it's not just about what you do, it's about your family as well. For an old graduate like me, I have kids, and I moved 3 different countries, from India to Canada, and then from Canada to the United States. I was not able to do rotations when I was back in Canada because my kids were small. I couldn't just leave them there and come here for rotations. And when I talk about rotations, it's not just 1 month of observership or something. What I realized was required, especially for old graduates, is doing some inpatient rotations, continued clinical experience, and research work all. So if you want to accomplish all of these, um, you really need to be very persistent and hardworking. So what I did was, even when I was in Canada, I used to take only those kind of jobs which would further my experiences in clinical medicine. So I worked as a clinical assistant, a physician's assistant, and took research assistant jobs, and also did remote research with Urvish. So that really helped. Whenever I applied every year, I kept adding to my application. And last year, I was able to move to the United States with my family. So that was a big advantage for me. And then I kept working continuously here for 2 years in research and then the clinical rotations. And during the entire interview season, I was rotating. So that really helped me a lot.
Yeah. So I think the rotation between the seasons are that not that great impact compared to when you're rotating inside the season, because that time during those September to December there is no one, and you can easily impress faculties, or you can have a more strong relationship. I think that is something is important as well, right?
Absolutely. So during the time you build connections, you meet other applicants as well, and where they have rotated, you build more connections. And when you are in this system during the time of interviews, you are always seen by the faculty, residents, and you are more fresh in their memory.
All right.
So that
That's
really helps.
that's really true. Yeah. But I'm really happy. We all are happy that to finally see such candidate, who's like consistently trying their best, and then ultimately achieving the goal. So thank
Yeah,
you so much.
and I'm really happy that I could see the difference when I applied for the first few times. It was just 2 or 3 interviews, but this season I got 13. So that's really a lot of
Yeah,
lot.
let's say if I'm gonna tell someone that is someone with the low score, 2005 graduate, or someone is having mediocre profile and then having this many interviews, they're like, nah, that's you are just lying. It's not gonna be possible. But no, it's really true. I mean, every year I feel the CV will be prepared properly, then interview will increase. If CV is not properly prepared, then interview will reduce. You will come back to the lower side of the pick. So that's really important. Yep.
Correct. And
Anything
thank you so
else you would
much
like to
for
share
this.
with the old graduates who is in your situation? Few important lines, take home message.
Absolutely, be persistent, don't give up. As I said, if I could do it, anyone can do it. Just believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Your time will come. I'm sure your time will come. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and all the best and congratulations again.
Thank you so much, Arvind.
We are also having Viraj actually. I specifically invited him for one reason. Some people are telling me in the morning that I'm not going to apply for prelim year. I only want to apply for the SOAP categorical year. So Viraj, I would like to hear your story. Tell people your story that that's not something you should be doing it. Whatever you're getting it, just take it. So I would like to hear a few things from Viraj.
Yes,
Roger.
hi everyone. I am Viraj.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to adjust my audio.
Just give me the request. Hold on. I'm gonna refresh it. Yes, go ahead.
Uh, I think my video might not work, so if you guys can hear
Audio,
me,
yeah, we
then
can hear you.
also. Okay, perfect.
Yes, we can hear you.
So yeah, my journey was like I was also an old graduate, and I kind of started late in the journey as well. I applied for, I guess, like 2 cycles, but I did not match. And then I was doing research, like a remote research with Dr. Patel. I matched into transitional year for which I got through contact, no doubt. But at that time, I had no other options. Like it's like beggars can't be choosers. So I just took whatever I got and tried to impress myself through that. And fortunately, now I'm matched in the same program into internal medicine. So for those who are thinking like prelim or transitional, like what will you do, how will you do, I would say like just take whatever you are getting whenever you have a chance. And once you are in the system, you have all the options. Like you can impress as much as you can. You have more options of getting in touch with the program director, or like through that program director you can also connect with other people. So in this like residency program, like match whatever we are, as an international medical graduate, we should always just take whatever we get and not try to like differentiate that, okay, I'll just do this, or I'll just do that. Unless and until, yes, if you are pretty sure that, okay, this is something which I won't be able to do moving forward, then that's a different story. But if you are getting into prelim or transitional, just take that and then try to work your way through that so that you have more options and more things to explore.
Makes sense. And Viraj, there is many people believe there's one misconception that if you are rotating with transitional year, then some of the rotation for core internal medicine will not be fulfilled, so that you need to again reapply. So I would like to put your perspective. How can you manage or just decide your rotations so that it will be going towards like a prelim year, it will going towards the first year of the internal medicine, so you can directly promote to second year. So what can you do for that one?
Right. So I had this similar issue when I went into transitional year, and I currently, like in my program, we do have transitional residents as well. So as I see now, like you can definitely, once you are in the program, you can definitely speak with your chief residents or your program director, tell them about your thoughts that, hey, I'm trying to match into so and so field. So can you please like look into my program and modify some of my rotations, which is definitely 100% possible. They can
Awesome.
modify your schedule once you are in the program. So as I said, once you are in the program, you can do a lot of stuff compared to being out of the program. So I was fortunate to like switch some of my rotations, like my elective rotations, into medicine pertaining rotations like floors or ICU or nights or however you want. Definitely, there are certain prerequisites that you need to graduate as a transitional year. But other than that, you still have a lot of elective rotations which you can convert to whatever branch you are pertaining to. Like even if you are planning to go into neurology, you can switch all your elective rotations to neurology. Uh, Bottom line is like you can switch all your elective rotations to the pertaining branch that you want to go. So it's definitely possible.
Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Viraj, for your insight. I appreciate your insight. Yeah.
And congratulations to everyone who matched, and good luck for all those who are applying or who have not matched.
Yeah. And we'll make a call probably in a few hours, Viraj.
I had a
Sure.
question for Dr. Shah, if
Yes.
that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like he said that we can modify the transitional year by asking the chiefs. So is it possible that we do half the electives in neuro and half in IM, and then we apply for both, like neuro and IM?
Definitely, yes. That's my main bottom line, that you can, once you are in the program, you can do anything and everything. Like there are certain prerequisites definitely which you cannot switch, but even if you take those out, you have a lot of other like remaining electives and other options which you can change. For that matter, some of them even cut short their vacation weeks and they take additional weeks from like just to fulfill their other requirements what they want.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Uh, okay, we are having Sai Anusha. Are you there? Sai is
Hello, Dr. Patel.
one of the first pre-match candidate. Congratulations, Sai.
Thank you, Dr. Patel.
Again. So we would like you to share some insight, and then one of the reason, what is when you are getting pre-match offer, then what could be your thought going to pre-match versus competing in the match? So we would like to know some of your background, feedback, insight, and specific this question answer.
Sure, Dr. Patel. First of all, congratulations, everyone. It's really good to hear from everyone and your stories. It's heartwarming to know that many of you persevered through this journey just like me, because I had a similar story. I applied last year and I did not match. And I had 3 interviews back then. I was working with Dr. Patel for research. And then I have an average scores. And I had some US clinical experience last year when I applied, around 3 months. So, but I only received three interviews, and this year I tried to improve everything, whether be it clinical experience. I did some rotations in university hospitals to have letterheads from university hospitals, and other than that, I also was involved in more research projects, did more collaborations, and published more. And I personally, I think Dr. Patel actually helped me with one research project which we submitted just before the math cycle, and I spoke about it a lot in my during my interviews, and that helped too. And I had around 7 interviews this year. So because I know that experience of not matching previously, so that's why I didn't want to take that chance of going through match again this year. So that's one of the reasons why I choose to take the pre-match offer. And other than that, I have location ties with the program where I got the pre-match offer, and that's why I also wanted to take that offer.
Mhm.
So I think the decision of going through pre-match and or through match depends on individual basis. It differs from person to person because each person's experiences are different. Some people might have more interviews. Some people like I have seen people who have like the similar interviews as me, like 7 to 8 interviews, and they didn't take a pre-match offer when they got one. And some of them actually, when pre-match programs, they have a reputation of being very hectic and clinically heavy. So some might not prefer such programs, and that's totally agreeable because it's individual preference again. So I'm okay with any kind of program, and I personally think that it's good to have a good to train in a clinically heavy program.
Makes sense.
So that's why I choose that program.
When Prachi said the one you said that you changed few rotations from last year and now change it to the better one, or you said hospital, university hospital rotation. So Prachi, Anusha, anything when you remove the old or when you replace with the new one, is there like a huge impact? Did you notice in your CV by rotating to this hospitals and rotating to university rotations in university hospitals? Is there any big changes you guys notice something in terms of interview or response in the interview itself?
Yes, for me, I did. I'm sorry, you can go first.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Prachi.
Okay. Yes, so for me, I had only done all my I had my LORs from agency rotations the last year, and they were not very personalized. I mean, they were very generic, and I don't think the preceptors even remembered me personally. And to be fair, it's difficult for them also to do that. So I would say even if you have a mix of LORs, like half outpatient agency and some like really personalized ones, that should also work. But having all agency ones, probably I would not recommend, because they can tell after reading your LORs if it's a genuine one or not. And even when you write your LORs, you don't have to boast about your medical knowledge that, oh, I know so much about this disease, this invention. Doesn't matter. You just have to be a good person to work with. And that's all that matters to them. That's what I realized.
Makes sense. Yeah. So it makes some changes in the CV while changing some rotation. Okay. Sai, what is your situation?
Yeah, similar with Prachi, Dr. Patel. I was actually asked by a couple of interviewers about the experiences specifically in the university hospitals. And the letters I got were very personalized to me. So I think that really added to my CV. And I think the interviewers can actually tell when the letters are more personalized, and they would get an idea how much of our involvement was there during the rotation, and that would, I think, make a difference.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, both of you guys. We are having Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi is there. Vaishnavi, congratulations. Can you hear
Hello,
me?
everyone. Hello, Dr. Patel. Can you
Hey.
guys hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yeah, I would like to congratulate all of you. All your journeys have been so inspiring. To be honest with you, my journey is not that great. To begin with, I'm a 2021 grad. My credentials are step 1 pass, step 2 262, and step 3 252. And I would definitely try here to break the myth that scores matter a lot. No, they don't. I'm the live example for that. I would definitely tell that having a well-rounded application is something that goes a long way for us in this journey. And as you guys said, the personal statement mattered a lot. And to me, what they spoke in most of my interviews was about voluntary experiences and my hobbies. They were into it, and I kind of think that I got an edge when I spoke about those because I had this special interest in hydroponics. And also, I would definitely say what you have been telling is completely something I agree with. That's because the agency rotations are not something that we can totally rely on. Even if you can get a clinical rotation wherein the preceptor can vouch for you in a very personalized manner, that particular LOR would go definitely a very long way in your journey. So please don't underrate some clinical LOR just because it is not having some university letterhead.
Makes sense.
That would be my 2 words. And I'm free to anyone who has any questions. Yeah, I'll be happy to help. And also, Dr. Patel, thank you for being there throughout.
Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is completely mine. So you said so it was this your second year application or was first year application?
No, it's my first application,
Yes, yeah.
first
Okay.
cycle, and I just applied to IM.
Yes, okay, makes sense. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vaishnavi, for your
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
Yep. We are in Janvi. Janvi, are you there?
Hi, yes. Hi guys. Very happy for everyone who matched. Congratulations. I would say my application was also very basic. I haven't had any big things that I had to overcome in my application. Also applied first time, visa requiring, and I only applied to internal medicine. I think something that people really said like good things about during the interview about my application was one was personal statement, and the second was number of clinical experiences. Basically, I had 8 months of US clinical experience. So I think the more amount of work you've done there, the more the better it is. It shows that you're interested in the work. It shows that you've done your homework or you've done your research as to why you want to work there. I also try to spread out my clinical experiences in different states. Another thing that I think was really helpful is just in general, like being like nice to everyone. You never know when somebody will be able to help, and everyone is willing to help. Everyone has something they will be able to help you with. So once you're in the States, you really need to put yourself out there, like meet new people, go to these conferences. I personally had one interview who I think I had 2 interviews which came from meeting people and making good relationships with them. And also like just like Dr. Urvish and people just like generally help a lot. It's they're all willing to help. You just have to reach out and you just have to put yourself out there. I think one thing that I learned during this application process was doing your proper research on the programs you apply to, especially signaling. I think signaling really helped me. I got 3 interviews from my signals, and they all addressed the fact that I signaled the program. I also didn't do much homework for the other like the other programs I applied to. I applied kind of generally as to whoever was IMG friendly, but I think I should have done more research in that sense that I should have checked what their requirements were, what their like the year of graduation they want, the scores they want. It's all given on their website. It's a tedious task, but I think it would have been worth it, especially if you're willing to write letters of interest. Letter of interest have also one of them got me an interview, just like emailing them saying that I'm interested in your program and this is why I'm interested in your program. So yeah, I think that's all I have.
So I have a very specific question for you. One is you said you signal the program and there you got the interview. Is there any association between doing rotation on those states where you're signaling and getting more interviews from the state where you have rotations?
So I did do rotations in one of the places that gave me an interview that I also signaled, but the other 2 I had not rotated in the States specifically, but it was my geographical preference. So it was within my geographical preference.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah. So it kind of helps if you kind of make it more streamlined. You're sure that this is the area you want to end up, so you signal the programs within that area.
And is there any correlation between you notice that you got like you have 8 US experiences and you got plenty of double-digit interviews, right? So did you notice that wherever you did rotation in that states, you got more interviews?
No, I did get in the general like Northeast area where most of my interviews were. I did get an interview from Florida and I have work experience in Florida, so maybe. Okay, actually, now that you say it, I think I did get interviews from the states that I had worked in. I did a rotation in Texas and I got an interview from Texas. Similarly with Florida, similar with New Jersey. So yeah, it does help.
Makes sense. So So if you are going to rotate few of the places where you have a good IMG friendly program, then there is a high chance, even though not same hospital, but same state or same zone of US hospitals recognize your work probably.
Absolutely. And plus, like, you can talk about it in the interview in the sense that, okay, I have made long-lasting relationships here and I want to be here. I've been here, I've enjoyed like life here, I've enjoyed working here, and I know the population. You could say like some sort of connection that you, if you don't have like family connection, it really helps to say some sort of work connection that you had. So I think that really helps to talk about also in the interview.
Yes, thank you so much. I think and congratulations again. I think being said that the rotation whichever states you are doing rotation, it's very crucial that you may end up in the same state. And if you're lucky, then you may end up in the same hospital. So I just noticed Soumyadeep is here. I would like to hear something regarding to his situation. One is I would like to hear Soumyadeep, are you there? I think I can see Soumyadeep. Yes, Soumyadeep.
We
Hey,
got called, so I thought I would
to
just
see you
call you
again.
guys from the hospital. Congratulations. I've been in this position last year. But yeah, I'm just so happy that all of you matched. It's a lot of hard work, I know. And yeah, so Dr. Patel helped me quite a bit last year. I actually matched, actually couple matched in Huntsville with my wife last year. Yeah, the hard work starts now, but it's a
Yeah.
it's a pretty intense feeling. So enjoy every bit of it. And I think you guys worked really hard to get to the position that you are now. But yeah, I'm very happy for everybody.
Yeah, so we have a similar situation. I would like to understand that what you can do it to secure interviews in the same hospital A, or at least in the same state or same city, other hospital while you are in the United States. What can you suggest to some of the candidate here?
I think the main thing that people do not do, obviously. The other thing that I think IMGs especially do not do is basically ask. So unless you ask, you'll never get it. So we ask them directly. Kind of like we apply, you choose your program accordingly, where you'll see like a lot of families, you'll see couples from different years and stuff like that, if you have that option. But I would advise you to kind of like just basically ask, like, hey, do you think it's appropriate for you to basically interview my spouse and just see, like, because we were applying together, we like this and this is what it is. I think that's the best thing that you can do, is basically make sure that you ask. If you do not ask, you'll not get it. It's simple as that. And we asked, and we had like 4 common interviews, so that helped us quite a bit, significantly, to secure this.
Right. But when you are doing, let's say, rotation in Alabama, is there any way you can connect with other hospitals besides your rotation location?
Yes, you definitely can, because it's a southern thing, right? So you have to know your areas, you have to know your people. So I think if you've actually come all the way, for me, for example, I came all the way to Alabama to do a rotation with a pregnant wife, and then that shows dedication. And then whenever I applied to like a southern program, I told them that I agree with their southern values, I like the lifestyle, I like how the programs are run and everything like that. And they were pretty impressed that I actually did my research about the program, and I actually, told them what I liked and what I wanted from the program, where you are like very clear about what you wanted, and not like kind of like beating about the bush about, oh, this is a great program, you've got so much wellness, you've got so much this and that. Like, everybody tells that. You just have to be very specific about what you want. Now, my big thing was like, I think you've got a great work-life balance. I think got a good sized program that will help me focus more. My biggest support system is going to be with me, and you seem to favor couples, which is a big plus for me. Also, I told them that your hospital is a J1 waiver hospital, so that helps me out in seeking opportunities for employment after residency as well. So, there's nothing that's stopping me from not going there. If you tell them very specific things, I think that helps you rank them pretty higher compared to other people. So I think that helped me out, and both of us, I would say, quite a bit. I think that's very important, to just make sure that you are very specific about things. It can go both ways, don't get me wrong, but you have to learn how to speak and then be very confident about what you're saying. But yeah, you need to be, if you are specific and if you're able to like, get into good books, it helps out quite a bit. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, because many times people go there, do their rotation, complete that rotation, and then they leave. So
Oh no, yeah, I knew about 20 doctors in this city, and I knew all the residents in the program. They all knew me personally by the time I left. Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah, they actually invited me out for Super Bowl. So I'm just saying, like, you can build relationships. It does not take a long time for you to build that relationship.
I always give this example to everyone. I think
Just
you
like,
can
how
you
are
can
you?
you can share this part in detail. Networking and events at your home. So that could be something helpful to other candidates.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, one of the people who matched, I'm not sure where she matched this year, but one of the people, I'm pretty sure she matched somewhere in Huntsville, either in my program or wife's. She did the exact same thing. She's so close to all the residents and all the programs and all the faculty in both the
That's
hospitals.
exact same things. Can you please tell the candidate in detail? Because I know exact same thing. They don't know.
Yeah. So she basically reached out to me and my wife. So look at it this way. I'm a resident at UAB Huntsville. My wife's a resident at Crestwood. So it's basically killing two birds with one stone. And we love her. This person that matched this year, I'm pretty sure she matched in Huntsville or Crestwood. I recommended her to my program. My wife obviously recommended her to her program, and she got interviews from both the programs, and she did really well with the interviews. She ended up having three more interviews, so I think she ended up with 5. But I know her top 2 choices were either my program or that program, because we were like, I was also helping her out with rank order list. But yeah, she stayed with us for like 14 days. So that's what happened. So if you reach out to your, like, if there are residents there, if there are people that you can be like, okay, what do you guys do for fun? Like, how about we go there hiking and stuff like that? It just doesn't have to be research. It just doesn't have to be education, because at the end of the day, especially residents, they want to have a good time. And then after working that hard, which I realized after coming here. So, if you interact with them as a human being, like a human being, and not just like, trying to find everything about the program and stuff, that makes you more closer. That's what I'm just trying to say. It's just much easier if you try to basically build a personal relationship, and you will see that they're very helpful. Most residents are.
Exactly.
I think that's very important. This kind of networking does help. It helped me, and I'm pretty sure it helped this person as well.
Yeah. Thanks for your feedback. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll see you then. I'll make a call tonight. Okay. We'll talk today.
Sure.
Bye. Have a good
Thank
one.
you guys. All the best. All the best. Good job, everybody. I know this is hard work, but all the best to you guys.
Bye.
Yeah, I'll sign off. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we are having Mamadou. Congratulations, Mamadou.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patel, and I would like to start by congratulating everyone who matched. It has been an interesting journey for me, and as Dr. Hari Preya was saying that she's from like a unique background, I am also the first one from my native country to go through this process, and I had to be on top of it with my medical school. They were not aware of all the papers that need to be signed and mailed to ECFME, which took longer than I was expecting. And because of the fact that I am the first one to do this, I didn't have any precedent. So before meeting you, I was like just shooting in the dark. But after, from the time I started with a research update, it helped a lot. And the fact also that I have research in my application also helped. So I have to emphasize on that. But one thing I would like to say from what I've been able to understand from other residents that I did practice interview with, many programs they look at it like a holistic approach to your application. They not only look at your scores. Scores will definitely help. If you have 250, very likely for you to get more interviews. But if you have a strong application, they will look at the whole application. The personal statement is like the first one that they look to after you pass the way they filter things. Having a concise and compact personal statement will also help. When I started writing my personal statement, I did not have like any background writing personal statement. I used the file we have from Research Update. And also I did get in touch with residents who are in their first or second year. I did get their feedback. I showed them what I wrote and they told me, make it like this. And it also helped a lot. One more thing I would add to that, when practicing for interview, I have practiced with a president, and they will tell you exactly what the program director is looking for, how to score point during the interview. So there are so many things that factored into my application and into my matching today. I'm not sure which one worked better than the other one, but I would say having research would help you get more interviews. More interviews means more chance for you to match. They say in this country, if you have one interview, you have 10% of chance of matching. If you have 10 interviews, you are very likely to match. So if there are so many applicants, being able to stand out either by research or by anything else will help you. And also it will help you during the ranking. When I was doing one of my neurology rotation with an attending neurologist, he told me when they are ranking, they will look at all your application. If everyone has like good scores and you are the only one who has some research over there, you are more likely to be ranked because of that, because of the research. So I did everything, and also I did not apply only for neurology. I applied for internal medicine. I applied for child neurology because the main goal for me was to match. And I was not able to apply on time, and I was only able to get five interviews and one pre-match interview, which did not go well. It wasn't as many, but being able to show my sell my person during the interview helped. And one of the program director I interviewed with, I hope I matched there. He told me you have an incredible story. So my personal statement helped. The fact that I am the first one to apply from my native country, and I was able to mention that in a way that attract them also helped. So research helped, everything helped. So one thing I would like to add to that is networking. Whenever you do a rotation, if you get the chance to get in touch with a resident, definitely build some connection with them. Try to get as much information as possible from them. And if you can't find a way to convince them, to tell the program director about you, that will also help. I get all my interviews without any direct contact. They all come from my ERAS application. But if you are able to do that, that will also be another plus. So these are basically what I would say here. One more thing I would add is attending conferences. One of the interview I had, they told me about a poster presentation, like a presentation I did at one of the. I was fortunate to do one with South Carolina Neurological Association, and I did a presentation over there. And the program that started, you did a presentation at this location. That is outstanding in our view. So if you are able to attend conferences, definitely do it. If you are able to do any type of presentation, definitely do it. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find which one factored into you being able to get interview and also match. But as I said at the beginning, many of them, they look at a holistic approach to it and try to make yourself stand out. And try also to show them that you have a life outside of medicine. Don't show just the medicine part of yourself. When I came to this country, I came here before graduating, and I did my medicine in French, so I had to learn English before starting to study for the SML exams. So what I did is I enrolled at a community college, and I did get an associate degree. And I told one of the program directors, the reason why I did that is because being a good physician is not only to have the clinical knowledge, but being able to think from the perspective of your patient. And he loved that line. So try to show them that you have something also outside of medicine. I let them know that I enjoy cooking, I enjoy playing ping pong, something that is not medicine related, but can also help you. If you can find a way to relate it to medicine, they will definitely appreciate all of that. So I went all hands on it, and I don't know which one factored much, but a holistic approach will definitely help. And again, Dr. Patel, he has been a great helper, and congratulations to anyone who to all the people who matched. And I will tell also the one who did not match, the journey by itself is interesting. It is memorable. There is one here who applied. Dr. David applied four times. He matched this time, and I know someone who matched in 2005. Who not matched, who graduated in 2005. He applied multiple times, and last year he matched. So it is never a time to give up. Keep working on it. Keep adding something new to your resume. If you have done your step 3 exam, that is good. That will also help you get more interview and also be likely to match, especially for IMDs. but a holistic approach. They look at a holistic approach to it. So that this is what I will tell you from my that's my point of view. And
Yeah.
thanks.
Makes sense. I think attending conference play also a huge role because it was like in the beginning time, it was like very strange for you to like why I'm going everywhere. Well, so in the beginning it feels strange, but then down the road you understand that okay, that's something will help you to secure some interview and secure some communication skill. I mean, considering learning English, new country, learning English before you prepare for USMLE and then match, it's a huge applause and it's a heads off thing that you did that much of work and then you are here where you are. But then it is going to be the inspiration for many IMGs that if it's not only if you don't have connection you should not come, it's not only you don't have score you don't come, but even though you don't know the English as a first language or don't know anything about English, still you can come here, learn English, then apply for you, finish USMLE, apply for residency, and still you can match. So that's a huge impact. Yeah, thanks, and many congratulations to you.
One thing I will add to that is being able to sell yourself during the interview.
Yeah.
If you get an interview, practice as many times as possible and practice with residents. Know more about the process, they've been through it, and they are with program directors, have more information. That will definitely help, and that helped me because I practiced with at least 3 residents, and they give me many feedback which I applied. My first interview went into a train wreck, I have to to tell you that, but after that I improved a lot with my subsequent interviews. I did not it, but since I was able to convince during the interview, that could have definitely have a factor in me matching today. And thank you, Dr. Patel, and congratulations to everyone.
Yeah, and if anyone is having some question regarding to any process, because I really feel this is my favorite line. Some people say, oh, you have to attend conference for networking, or you may go and meet more connection. But I feel networking and connection is one small part, but you have to be a real good salesman. And people were believing, my mentors, that you have to sell your CV, but I feel like no, you have to sell yourself as a salesman, and you should be knowing what is good in you that will benefit the program, and then your application will have a different impact. So networking will only help you to identify potential people to whom you need to sell your CV or to whom you need to sell your skills. So that's also the third dimension besides complete CV, besides networking, sell yourself. So that's the third important aspect of this thing. Okay, thank you so much, Mamadou. Yep, I think we are having majority of the candidate here, and some will be joining later on, but probably whomever is coming, creating video, creating something specific thing about the journey, I'm definitely put that online and then give it to you guys in the classroom so you can watch this, some of the important messages from all the candidate. But if you have any question for any of the candidate, you can ask, guys, and we are here happy to help. We are having Dr. Basania as well, and I really like to thank him as well in this whole journey. He helped plenty of candidates to train and help and make sure to match. I would like to hear some words from him that what was the challenges that he faced during training candidates, what was the common mistakes candidate did it, and what are the things that he recommended them to fix it. Is if Dr. Siddharth is here.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So I have been there, I have done that, I have done whatever you all have said. Like I was throwing parties right and left for the residents which were in the hospital where I was working. I was handing out my CV or versus handing out my short. I made a photo CV where I can share it on mobile or hand it to attending whenever I'm walking in the hospital. I have worked in a hospital for 2 years without residency, unmatched for 3 years. So I have done whatever you all suggest. All of them are good ideas. But when it comes to getting into residency, first part is you need to get an interview. To get an interview, you need to have a good CV. Besides scores, of course, the first filter is always going to be score. But after you pass the first filter, it all depends who you are in terms of how you present yourself, how you speak, how you interact during the interview. If you have passed the first step, if you already got the interview, then the interview is that how you present yourself, that's the main thing. And most of the people who are outside of the system, let's say most of the South Asian countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, we have not been taught basically how to sell ourselves. We have always been a bookworm. We are good at studies. We do well with scores. We do well with research. We can make a good CV. But when it comes about, tell me about yourself, and most of the candidates, like 95% of the candidates who are outside of United States will struggle with this one question. This tell me about yourself is the question that is going to be make or break for any candidate. So any candidate they have practiced with me, I always ask them to polish their intro. Basically, you are talking about yourself and you should not be hesitating talking about yourself. You are the person who has known yourself the best for last 30-35 years, whatever your age is. So when it comes to tell me about yourself, that should be flawless. That should be elevated pitch where they, as a listener, as an interviewer, I should be able to know inside out who you are. As long as you do that one thing, the tell me about yourself is, if that is a presentable one, that's a good one. I don't think any candidate will have any worry regarding matching, because you have already passed the major hurdles. You scored well, you did research, you made your CV, you also got the interview. But still there is make or break during the interview. I have seen people with scores of 250, 260s and still struggling with the interview and ultimately not matching. We want to make sure that you guys do not end up there. If you have matched, that's well and good. This is a first stepping stone, because there is also going to be many other opportunities where you will be interviewing yourself. If you matched in prelim, again, you are going to interview for the higher PGY 2-3. If you matched in residency, you will still be interviewing either for fellowship or interviewing for job. When I'm applying for jobs or when I'm going other places, let's say I'm moving forward or I'm trying to move upwards, every point you go, regardless of which job you are applying, they are always going to ask you, tell me about yourself, or tell me a few lines about what you have been doing for last couple of years. So as long as you guys have figured that part out, that's gonna not only help you right now during the interview process, but that's how you're gonna sell yourself rest of your life. That's gonna be my one take.
And the common mistakes that you have identified in the candidates besides this, like some people have the language barrier, some people have some other issues, presentation, maybe look. But so any common tip that you would like to give it to candidate, or some common mistake that you have identified to recognize here and then tell to students?
So it's technically not a common mistake, but at this point, everyone is adult. Everyone knows that try to appear the profession you are achieving, or try to appear like as you are going into a professional profession. It means that if you are going for a physician job, or if you're applying for a residency, try to look like a physician. Have a suit, well lit room, adjusting your camera, all of that stuff, minor things, but on the back end, it makes a huge difference. Language barrier, after you practice for a couple of times, again, you are only going to prepare for 5 most common questions, like tell me about yourself, your strength, your weakness, why United States, and why this program. These 5 questions, if you prepare it over and over and over, I don't think language barrier will be a major thing. It will be all about interpersonal skills, how you talk with them, how you present that 5 questions. Anyone can write and prepare that 5 questions, but it's all about memorizing it and how to emotionally present it, that it looks like it's your own story, even though you may have said 1 or 2 lines just to make yourself nicer or look nicer. But at the same time, you have to own it. So the feeling and emotion while you are talking with someone, it makes a huge difference. I have seen candidates where even though they have practiced a couple of times, their entire pitch goes flat in terms of there are no emotion attached to the pitch when talking about yourself or why you want to come to US. Like they don't sound excited or they don't sound familiar about what they have wrote in their CV. So that's the important part, that know your CV, know yourself, and it's all about practicing. It's, as I said before, it's not only about practicing and getting into residency. This is going to help you for lifelong.
Makes sense. And any particular tip for SOAP or a post-match, both type of candidate?
So the people who are unmatched, again, as I said, I have been there, I have done that. It's heartbreaking day for some of people who have not matched. SOAP, it's all stroke of luck. If you have scored well, as I said, if you pass the first barrier, if you get an interview in SOAP, because again, first barrier is always going to be the scores and your CV. If you pass the first barrier, contact Dr. Patel or me, and we'll be happy to help you to prepare for the interview. But don't lose hope. I have seen people getting matched after 6 years, after 10 years. Do you remember that, Doctor, that guy who was a truck driver for 22 years?
Yeah. And St. Michael, right? St. Michael, the guy interview.
He matched at St. Michael's. He was an actual truck driver for 20. Yeah, before getting into residency. So it can happen. So never lose hope. But make sure in your mind it's clear that USMLE is the thing, and residency is the thing. If you are committed at least to that part, we'll make sure, at least from our side, that you are a very well prepared candidate and desirable for any program.
Yeah. And that that guy was having, as I'm telling, US never bring only human being inside the US. It brings story. Everyone has their own story. And that story was also amazing. Like when he worked as a truck driver, then he started owning the trucks, running as a full-fledged business. Then he has enough saving, and then he's like, now let's back to my dream and start applying for residency. So so that is something is inspirational too. Yeah.
Yeah, we have people like who have done Uber driving for a couple of years or a couple of months. We have people who have done DoorDash or doing the basic thing. I myself, I was a cleaner, right? I was technically a janitor for a couple of months before getting into residency. So everyone has their story. Everyone is unique. But at the same time, how you present it to them at an emotional level. If you touch someone at an emotional level, they will also feel bad not to take you. So always nice. And again, who have matched, regardless of whichever program you matched, be nice. That's the first advice I'll give you. You never know who is the complainer or who is the person who is very sensitive about small things. Because even though you have a 3-year categorical program, your contract is only 1 year. You can be fired at any time. So make sure, be nice to people. It's a 3-year learning journey or 4-year learning journey, depending on your program. And you never know where you can make connection. Like most of the connection while you are doing your residency, that connections are also going to help you getting you a nicer job or getting you to the place where you would like to be in terms of geography, in terms of where you want to settle down, where do you see yourself in 10 years as a long term, whether you want to go to an academic position versus hospitalist versus primary care, all of that stuff. As long as you are nice, a lot of people will help you.
That makes sense. Yep. Thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth, for great insight. I think I have Mamadou wants to say something.
Yeah, what I would add to that is to make yourself stand out. Program directors, they are doing this all the time, and they interview so many applicants. If they have only, let's say, like first parts, they have like 150 candidates. 45 of them come with the same story, and you come with a different story. You are more likely to be ranked high. You are more likely to be. So don't try to copy paste it from someone. Try to get your own one. You don't have to lie about it. Just stretch it. Try to get something that is less likely to be said by somebody else. So make yourself stand out. That will definitely help. And one thing also I will add to that, there is I was asked about weakness from all my interview, but they don't ask about your weakness. They have a way of phrasing themselves. You need to be able to pay attention to what they are saying to understand that they're asking for your weakness. So trying to say that you don't have any weakness is by itself the greatest weakness ever. Something to show them that you are honest about it. You had a weakness, you worked through it, and now that is in the past. But I will give you just like one tip. One thing I used. I am an international medical graduate. Back to my native country, there is no EMR. So when I started here, I was overwhelmed. So that was a great weakness for me. And besides that, sometimes patients, they might ask so many questions, they might give you so many information, and you end up spending more time with them. So I broke that up, and I used it in a way that made it look good, and they liked it. So try to stand out. That one thing I would add to that. And besides that, be yourself, be natural. Don't try to make something up. These people, they are highly intelligent. If you say something true, they will catch it. If you say something that is not from you, if you make something up, they will be able to catch it. So be natural, be yourself. Try to stand out.
Yeah, that's a biggest thing, that be natural and be yourself is missing nowadays. So that's a very important thing.
Yeah, people do try to take as I said, people do try to take nicer stories from other personal
Other
statements or other CVs where they try to put it in their own. But the way the previous speaker said, either you put it in your CV. When you put it, make sure you own it, or don't put it in, because everyone will have a different story, and everyone should have a different story. Like there is no way that two candidates is going to have a same CV or same personal statements. Like that's not statistically not possible. So try to come up with your own ideas. Of course, you can have help in terms of what to write, what are the right words to write, but at the same time, story should be yours. Even if you are faking it, make sure when you are presenting it, it's with such a emotion that it sounds yours. Because again, as previous speaker said, the program directors and myself, like I have interviewed myself hundreds of students. I can figure it out whether it's the story is your own or not, because I've heard the stories hundreds of times. Program director probably has heard the stories thousands of times. So they will be able to pick with it, hey, this story I've heard it before, so someone else was talking. And this personal statement, I read this line somewhere before. Like they may not be able to pinpoint where you have picked it from, but at least we have idea that, hey, this one sounds like I have heard it before.
Makes sense. Yeah, no, that's true. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Any question anyone is having here? I think we are good. Thanks a lot. And then I'll be in touch with you guys. Probably we will, if you have any questions, feel free to write us. And if you need any guidance or help, feel free to text instead of like waiting for email and things. So text, I will be happy to help you guys. Have a good one. Take care. And
Thank
enjoy.
you so much.
Bye. Bye, guys.